Okay, guys, I see maximum of you are back, so let's get started. Can someone please confirm if you guys can hear me well? Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, well, like,
Okay, great. So let's get started with storage. Azure storage. Before we go to Azure storage, uh, in common term, whatever storage is, I'll explain it to you. Or anyone would like to explain what they have, what they understand when someone says storage. What do you understand by storage? Anything. I'm not asking a proper definition or anything. You guys all have been working, have experience, right? You must have heard storage. So what comes to your mind related to work, anywhere, everywhere? The moment you hear storage, what comes to your mind? What do you understand by storage?
We can say a storage of data where we can store data. Like for
Okay.
example,
Yeah, got it.
any so,
Fair enough. Yes. Storage of data. Or I would say storage is just a place to keep something. I won't even go ahead till data, right? But yes, in our context, it's storage of data. So place where I can keep my data. That is storage. That is what a storage is. What else? What else comes to your mind, guys? Anyone else? What is storage? Yes, guys. What is storage?
storage is a service as we are in Azure, so we can refer as storage as a service offered by Azure.
Uh, it is a service, but my question is, what is storage? Fine, it is one of the services from Azure, no doubt in that. Let's not go to Azure. Still, I'm not even going to Azure. Just a simple question. In technical term, what is Azure? Sorry, what is storage?
Uh, can I try, Survey?
Yeah, please, anyone.
Storage is basically hardware where we keep where our all the data is placed,
Good,
or where
correct.
we have
Was that Omkar or
Sufyan.
was that Sufyan? Okay, Omkar, you also raise your hand, right? You're not able to unmute yourself, Mike. Okay. Uh, okay, there's something wrong with your mic, I guess, because even I'm unable to unmute you from here. But that's okay. I think I'm sure you also know. And yes, all answers are correct, guys. Whatever answer, it is a service in Azure, correct. It is a place where you can store your data, correct. It is a hardware where you can store your data, correct. All answers are correct, no doubt. So what is storage is whatever you guys explained, that is our storage is. Uh, but what are we discussing here? We are calling it storage, but literally what we want to know here, what we want to learn here about storage devices. There are many devices, or there are many types, there are many ways how we can save the storage. So we are going to learn that. Right? Everywhere we have some sort of OS, some sort of file, anything and everything. It needs to be stored somewhere. And if it is being stored, it requires data. It requires a data disk, I would say, a disk where you can save that. Okay? That is your storage. For example, this MS Paint, if I'm creating this, right? If I want to save this somewhere, do I need a hard disk for this to save it? I want to save this paint. Do I need a hard disk or any
Yes,
sort
you
of
Survey.
need a
storage?
storage
Yeah, any sort of
storage
storage.
to say.
I need it, right?
Yes, you
Let's say
need.
I'm saying I just want to create it, explain it to you guys. I just want to use this paint, explain it to you guys, then erase it. I don't want to save it. So to have this service, do I need any kind of storage services at the back end? Just to use this
Hello.
MS Paint, I don't want to save this MS Paint, okay? I just want to explain some concepts to you guys and I'm going to delete it. Do I want any kind of storage services to run this ecosystem?
I'm audible? Hello?
Yes, you are. Omkar.
Yes, for storing the data, we need the services because the company's data is very confidential and important. So,
Not knowing. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, Omkar. You're correct, but let's just don't jump to that level, because we have people who have who do not have basic understanding also, right? So we'll go from
Yeah.
scratch. My simple
Okay.
question is, guys, to save this MS Paint, I need some data, some disk, जहाँ पे मैं इसको save कर पाऊँ. You guys said that, which is correct. My next
Yeah.
question is, I don't want to save it. Just to run this, ये जो मैं use कर रहा हूँ, MS Paint जो मैंने open किया, MS Paint is a part of my MS Office, or it's not even part of MS Office. It is part of my operating system. This is all called ecosystem, in case you did not understand the question. So my question here is, again, even to use this, you use all of this, do I need any sort of storage? किसी तरह का storage लग रहा है क्या पीछे? या do you think कि बिना storage के लिए के ही हो रहा है ये सब कुछ?
Yes,
और
we
नहीं,
need some
स्टोरेज
storage.
की जरूरत
require
तो है, क्योंकि
Some storage
कहीं ना
need.
कहीं पे ये स्टोरेज के अंदर ही सेव है, तो इसको हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं एप्लीकेशन
What
को.
is saved? Yes, application, right? This file I'm not saving somewhere, it's okay. But this application, the one which I'm using Paint, it is saved somewhere. Where is it? It is a part of what? It is a part of my operating system. Fine. What is operating system? Again, it is a software. Where is it? It is on my machine. Fine, virtual machine. Let's go ahead and go back to our first lecture then. If this is my virtual machine, you imagine virtual machine or hardware, okay, anything. Let's say only one thing will change. If I'm talking about virtual machine, again, virtual machine kahan par saved hai? Where do we save the virtual machine? Is it literally in cloud?
डेटा सेंटर.
In data center mein kahan par hai? What hardware?
Hardware.
Hardware, what hardware? What do you call that
Racks
hardware?
में server.
Server, right? What all components are there in that server?
RAM, virtual CPU,
RAM, fine.
storage.
RAM पे मेरा OS save हो रहा है? Can I save my
No.
OS on RAM? No.
No.
What
No.
else did you say?
OS
RAM,
disk and,
CPU. CPU
data
मतलब
disk.
आपका processor, like you have in Android, you have this one, Intel का होता है कई Android में, Qualcomm का होता है, then Apple we have, Apple का अपना एक chip है, उनके Intel का हमारे laptops में chip है. These are processors, right? So do we save our operating system in those processor?
No, sir, by operating system
No.
disk.
Where do we
OS
save it?
disks.
Disk.
OS
Hard
disks.
disk.
हाँ, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम
OS
डिस्क तो
disk.
आप उसको बाद में बोल रहे हो जब उसमें आपने ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डाल दिया. Otherwise, what is it?
Okay.
It is just a disk.
Disks. Hard disks.
Yes, finally, it is a disk. And what is a disk? It is a storage device. वो हुआ आपका storage. इस concept को अच्छे से समझ लो guys, okay? And try to relate it whenever I'm talking about it. Otherwise, you'll get confused too many times. यार ये storage है, ये blob है, ये है. Everything after this, it's an upcoming layer, an upper layer. कि इसको मैंने 4 में divide कर दिया, उसको मैंने 8 में divide कर दिया. But what is it ultimately? No matter which service you talk about, no matter which storage you take, what is it there ultimately? Last में क्या होने वाला है वहां पर? ये.
Storage.
What are these? These are hard disk. ये hard disk है. इनमें से किसी
Hard
एक में
disk.
operating system होने वाला है. And it's not necessary कि पूरा एक में हार्ड ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम हो तो कुछ और नहीं हो सकता. इसको भी आप डिवाइड कर सकते हो कि इसमें हार्ड डिस्क है, इसमें दूसरा सॉरी इसमें ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है, इसमें दूसरा डिस्क है, इसमें कोई और ड्राइव है. It is possible, right? So understand one thing, guys. Like we were discussing computer virtualization, everything. Similar, same thing applies to storage. Yes, the only thing is that these are very cheap level and very small hard disk, home use hard disk. We are not using literally like this. This is maybe hardly 500 GB or 1 TB. We are not using this. We are using the professional version of this. We are using the extensive version of this. We are using the enhanced version of it. But ultimately, that is also a disk. The size of this maybe is just 1 TB. The one which we're talking about, it could be 5 TB, 10 TB, terabyte, petabyte. It could be anything. But just because it is bigger doesn't make doesn't make any difference. It is still a storage device. Like this is your home PC and this is server. This is only for 10 or 12,000. This is for 2 lakhs. But again, it has CPU, it has CPU. It has RAM, it has RAM. It has fans, it will also have fans. Right? It's the same thing. Similarly, this is disk. So the disk or storage which we are going to talk about, in nature, they are also disk, which we are going to use for our storage. Is it clear till now? Yes, guys? Yes,
sir.
no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
look at
Yes,
this.
sir.
Memory card, storage device, very cheap. Hardly we can save something, maybe just picture in camera. This memory card, at least I have seen only for pictures, and it used to fit in very old mobiles like Nokia's mobile phone. I'm not sure if you guys have used it or not. Hard disk, we used to use it in our old computers. Nowadays we have stylish SSD, that is solid state drive. This is HDD, hard disk drive, and then we have SSD. Okay, just because the name is changing, format is changing, maybe some technology is changing, doesn't make it doesn't mean कि उसका concept change हो रहा है. Okay, this is HDD, hard disk drive, this one at the right side, and this is solid state drive. But ultimately, what are these? दोनों भी क्या है? Storage device. Okay, so don't get confused. Make this thing very clear in your head as of now. Floppy disk बंद हो चुका है. But what was it? We used to save maybe hardly 5 या 2 MB का data इसमें save होता था. But it is a storage device. Pen drive, storage device. Optical disk, we don't see it nowadays, right? Still, it is storage device. Similarly, आप जैसे जैसे आगे जाओगे, disk मिलेगा, ये सब मिलेगा. And now when you go to professional, and you will see NAS. Now look at this. This is storage device. ठीक है, दिखने में काफी बड़ा है, बहुत सारे फीचर्स हो गए, नेटवर्किंग वगैरह, एवरीथिंग विल बी देयर. बट व्हाट इज इट अल्टीमेटली? It is a storage device.
Storage.
I hope you guys are getting it very clear, right? Look at this. There are multiple names, multiple methods. There are some SAN, some NAS. You don't have to worry about all those. But what is it? It is a storage device. So understand, when we are going to learn this in Azure, whatever we are learning, ultimately the data will be saved in one of these devices. And who's handling these devices? Look at this. Who's handling these devices, guys? If we talk about in Azure's concept, cloud concept, if something goes wrong, let's say there is a short circuit in this device, as a customer, am I responsible for this, or who is it? Who's the responsible person for this?
Cloud service provider.
Cloud
Cloud
provider.
Cloud service provider.
Yes, cloud provider. Okay, let me show you a few more devices and then we'll go ahead and start our theory part. But this was very clear for you guys to understand. Here, these are the one Azure is using. I'm not saying that they use it at the backend to store the data, but they are using these storage devices to migrate your data. They literally send it. I mean, if you have this much of data, they will send it to you. They will ship it. This one is available only for US, few regions. This they can send it to India also, I guess. This one, and they have some disk also. If you want to migrate your data, based on your capacity, everything, how much are you paying, shipping cost, everything is there. But these are storage devices. This one, I guess, it holds a capacity of 80 TB, or I guess 800 TB. We'll read that later. Whenever we do the migration topic, we are going to 100 TB. Look at this. We're going to discuss that. As of now, look at them just as a storage device. I just want to, fit in your mind that what kind of storage devices are there in the market. And I'm not saying it that they are using it in the background to save your data. Okay. As of now, I'm just showing it that these are the types we have. इतने सारे पहले बताए ये सब है. Azure is using these just to transport data from here and there. What are they using exactly to save the data? We don't know that. And we don't even have to know that. And they are not even sharing it with us. So is it clear, guys, still here?
Yeah.
Yes, Selvin.
Okay, one more thing, guys, understand what we are going to learn here in this session, in this segment, not only today. One is storage. Do not get confused with all this. Okay, storage, backup, replication. All these are different things. Okay, and database. Database, it is not a hardware. Database is a type where you can have your data in a structured manner. Maybe I can have a folder where I can have 100 pictures, 200 videos, some Excel file, some Word file, and some MP3s, MP4, everything and anything in that folder. That is also a database. And maybe I can have a same folder, but I have all of these with subfolder in a detailed manner, in a described manner, structured manner. That is also a database. But is it a storage? What is that, guys? I have a data in structure manner and everything. Is that my storage? Would I call that my storage? No, that is just my data. I'm structuring that data properly. That is not my storage device. Similarly, backup. What is the backup? Backup, it's I have some data on some device. I'm backing it up, maybe on the same device or on different device. But that is just a backup. It is again not a hardware. Database, it's not hardware. Backup, it's not hardware. Replication. And if there's a difference between backup and replication also, we are going to do this in detail, don't worry. As of now, I'm just trying to make you understand the difference between storage device and services. Replication. What is replication? I'm replicating my data continuously. Whatever you're saving over there, I want to see it immediately here. That is my replication. Whatever I am saving, I want you to see it. For example, this OneNote. If I make a change here and do a control S, immediately you guys will be able to see it. That is replication. Though you guys don't have access to edit, but if I give you edit access, you make changes and I will be able to see it. That is replication. What is backup? The one which I do in my Google Sheet. So even if you guys delete something, I have a backup from where I can recover my file. Let's say one of you delete something, right? You did not like my lecture today, right? तर यार फालतू में time waste कर दिया lecture दे के. Let's delete this file. आपने delete कर दी, but I have backup. वहां से मैं restore कर लूंगा उसको. That is backup. Database, I just explain it to you कि जो data रखा है उसको एक proper manner में रखना. None of these are hardware. These are just services. Clear, guys? Still here?
Yes,
These
sir.
three. When it comes to storage, storage भी एक service है जो आपको multiple ways देगी storage ये करने के लिए. But where will we do that? Where will we use that? These all services, those are on storage devices. Mostly we call them hard disk. Okay. So I hope you understood the difference now. And all these things we are going to cover in our storage segment. Though I'm calling it storage segment, but we are going to cover a database. We are going to cover backup. We're not focusing much on database because database, it's a different role. We have DB admins, but yes, we'll see some basics of it. Backup, very important. Core topic, we are going to focus. Replication, very important. So is it clear now, guys? The storage device is a hardware. For example, server class hardware, and then server. Similarly, storage Azure Pay, the one which we are going to look at, it is storage services. Ultimately, they are being saved somewhere on one storage device. It could be one, it could be multiple. Is it clear to everyone? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right.
Okay. Now, can you guys tell me, I'm sure all of you have attended most of the sessions and watched the recording. Have we used storage account till now? If yes, where? In Azure, specifically in Azure, I'm talking about now. Now we are narrowing it down to Azure. In all these sessions, whatever we have been doing, have we ever used storage account or storage service from Azure? If yes, where?
Yes, we use whenever we are just going to CLI, we need to create first storage account. I think
Who's that?
Samir.
Samir. Yes, Samir. Correct answer. Good answer. Yes. If you guys remember, whenever you create a PowerShell, it asks you to create a storage account. Why? Because it wanted to save some data of your PowerShell data, very basic data. But to save something, what does it need? A storage account, right? Where else, guys? Where else have we used storage, or have we not used other than this example?
While creating virtual machine, we have used default storage.
And where did we use it? Which
While
component?
creating virtual machine, I mean,
Yes, which component of virtual machine used storage?
this
Disk.
is a separate part.
Perfect. No, disk is the correct answer. Perfect, guys. See, whenever I'm creating a machine, we just explained, right? What will my machine have? Operating system. Where will I save my operating system? What does it require? To save my operating system, what is must? What is required?
Disk.
A disk, right? And even if it's a data disk. What is a disk? It is storage. Now, when we start learning storage, you will see this will also come in picture, that what type of storage it is. Let me show it to you. When we go to storage, see, these are the types of storage we have. We have blob type, we have blob, append blob, page blob. We're going to read all these, don't worry. But look at this, page blob. What is a page blob? A page blob is a collection of pages which can read and write. This is a type of storage account. Don't worry if you don't understand it right now. It's okay. But where do we use page blob, or what is the use of page blob? For virtual disk. So your machines which are using the disk, what kind of storage account are they using? They are using page blob. This is the kind of storage account they are using. Ultimately, it's everything that hardware. Remember, don't get confused. I told you ultimately everything is that same hardware. You are just dividing that hardware, making some extra layers on that, giving some security to that, adding some features to that, XYZ ABC. But ultimately, everything is that hardware. Just because I call it page blob, don't get confused. Page blob, it is just a service, some details, right? But ultimately, it is the same thing. This guys, just give me 1 minute. I need to switch my Wi-Fi. Just give me 1 minute. Yes, guys, sorry. Am I clear now? I got 2 messages that voice is wasn't very clear, so I had to switch my Wi-Fi. Are you guys able to hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
yes,
Better.
Yes, sir.
Great. Fine. So we were talking about this one. That if someone is using this sort of account, if we are using hard disk, then we are using this kind of account. You don't have to worry about it. We are going to check everything in detail. right? But I'm telling you that we have been using storage in Azure and we didn't even know that. So yes, we have used storage in Azure already. When we create a virtual machine, we required something to save our data. So we used hard disk, and hard disk, it is a type of one of these storage accounts. Now let's go ahead and quickly check storage accounts here. So this is what we have. When I say storage account, it is nothing but just a storage, a folder. Let's call it as a folder, that you are creating a folder on Azure for your company. Or better than folder, I would call it as a hard disk, that you're creating a hard disk for your company to save your data. For example, here, if I have created one where I have saved my VM images, right? So if I create a folder here, if I create a storage account, I have to go to storage account, click on create. Same things will have to follow. Select your subscription, select your resource group, whatever has been assigned to you, whichever has been assigned to you, give a name. But here, this is the interview question, guys, right? Remember it very carefully. Do not forget it. If they ask a trick question, you should be able to answer. Like virtual machine, it was in our, you could say, it was an internal network. It was in our internal network. But on Azure, whenever you're creating a storage account, by default, it is in public. You don't have to assign any public IP or nothing. By default, it is in public. By default. So if I give a name as test, one error is it doesn't accept caps. This field contain only lowercase and name must be between 3 to 24 characters. This is one of the interview questions, guys. Remember it. I mean, character is still fine. No one expects you to remember the character, though it is easy, 3 to 24, but lowercase. So if there is a written question in aptitude test that this is my storage account, and you'll definitely see it when you apply for certification in Microsoft, interviewer may not give you something in writing, but if there is an aptitude test or if you're going for certification and when it comes to storage segment, you'll definitely see it. They will give you some name of storage account and they will ask you, can I use this name? So this is straight away no. Why? Because Azure storage account accepts name only in lowercase. And if they give a name something like this, storage account, still no. Why? Still no. Minimum 3 characters. Okay, there should be minimum 3 characters. Is it clear, guys? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now
Yes,
let's
Minimum
give
3 characters and that too into small, right?
lowercase. Lowercase, yes.
Lowercase.
Everything in lowercase. And one more condition. I talked about internet, right? I mean, this uppercase, lowercase had nothing to do with internet. Why did I mention that? Why? Because with that, there is one more condition, and which is very crucial and most important condition, that your account name should be unique. For example, here, if I have a machine with this name, UT-Kloud VM001, or whatever the name of my machine is, exact machine. Now, if I just copy and paste this name to you, and if I ask you to create a machine in your subscription, will you be able to create a machine with this name or not? Let's say this is the name. This is my virtual machine. This is the name. I am giving it to you guys and asking you to create a virtual machine name exactly with this same name. Will you guys be able to create a virtual machine or not?
No. Yes, we can.
Yeah, who thinks no?
I think we can't, with the same name, we
With the
can't
same
create
name,
it.
we cannot.
Sorry, what was that, Sufyan?
With the same name, we cannot, I think.
Okay, no, we can. Whoever answered yes, that is correct. I don't know that what do you have in your subscription. I am company Tsoft. Why would I know what do you have in your subscription, right? Or in your company, in UT-Kloud. And as UT-Kloud, why would I know what is there in Tsoft? And if I don't know, how would I make sure that I'm not repeating? So it is possible. Why is it possible?
Sir,
Because all these machines are being created in my internal network. Yes, if you're in same subscription, same company, that's a different thing. I'm talking about two different subscriptions. This is
sir,
my
but
subscription. Satish, just a minute. I'll just complete and I'll let you speak. So this is my subscription, right? You guys do not have any access here. You guys do not even have ID, and I'm asking you to create this in your environment. And if you don't, uh, if you want, you can try it. I have already copied the name. Session will end in 7 minutes, so the name will be disappearing here from here. So it's better you copy it, and when we have a break or later, whenever you have time, try creating one virtual machine using this time, and you will be able to create it. Why? Because this is an internal network, right? This is an internal network. And even if I'm putting a public IP, the complete machine name will be something different. This is just a display name. I'll show you the complete name of the machine. Look at this. This is the complete name of the machine, which is not being repeated. This is the reason you will be able to create the machine, virtual machine. But in storage, you cannot. We'll see that, but let's take the question. Yes, Satish, you were saying something?
sir, if the different region, the same machine will be, we can create, right? Same name, like
No.
if the region is different.
What about the subscription?
Same subscription if there.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
Same subscription, you cannot, no matter what the region is. Different subscription, you can, no matter what the region is.
Okay.
Okay. But same thing, when it comes to storage account, let's see if I can create one storage account with this name. Look at this. What does it say? The storage account test is already taken. I do not have any storage account with this name. Look at this. I have two storage account. What are the name? This is the name. This is the name. I do not have. So what does it mean? That this name, it's globally. If I create some name, now let me create one unique name. Okay, it won't even take hyphen. This will accept the name. Now you have two names. Copy and keep it with you guys. One is machine name, one is storage account name, right? And try creating in your environment. Machine, you will be able to create. Storage, you will not be able to create if I use it here. Okay, so these properties you will have to remember. What are the properties? One is all should be in lowercase. It should be globally unique. The name must see the name, it itself says the name must be unique across all existing storage accounts names in Azure. It doesn't say in your subscription. It says in Azure. Okay, and then it must be 3 to 24 character and contains lower characters or numbers only. We can have numbers. That's fine. A region, it's okay. We have been reading about region. What does it mean? If I have my services in East US, obviously I will have my, if my application server is in East US, it doesn't make any sense that I go ahead and deploy my service in Korea, deploy my storage in Korea. Let's say this is going to be my database where my machine is capturing all the data and saving it here. So why would I want to go to Korea? My machine is in, my users are in East US. My machine, front-end machine is in East US. Why would I want to go to Korea for storage account, right? So that depends on, this is a business requirement. You can take anything. Standard and premium. What are the differences between standard and premium? We are going to see that in theory part. This is very important. LRS, GRS, ZRS, and GZRS. We are going to see this in next session. As of now, I'm taking LRS. Click on next. Then we have advanced option here. Whether it requires the REST API operations, whether it requires the access account key, which version, TLS version, it needs to be supported. Blob storage, do we require or not? All do we have here? Don't worry, we're not skipping it, right? We are going back to this and check this one by one in detail. As of now, just want you to see it. Now, who can access this storage account? Enable public access. So anyone from public will be able to access this. Even you guys will be able to access this. Enable public access from selected virtual network and IP address. So only virtual networks which I select from my subscription, only those people will be able to access this. No one else will be able to access this. Disable public access completely, you can disable it. Next, data protection. Do you want to enable soft delete? So if you delete something, there should be, it should go to recycle bin, delete file shares. We are going to come back to this, don't worry. Encryption, do you want an encryption? As of now, let's know. And then you review. Tags, we know what it is. Don't worry, we're not skipping anything. We are going to spend a lot of time in these options. और इसी में आपका पूरा storage cover हो जाएगा. The moment we start spending time on these options, storage other topic इसी में खत्म हो जाएगा. And I'm submitting it now. Only 2 minutes are left, guys. Session will be ended and this chat data will be erased automatically. So copy the machine name and storage name. So you can try creating. You don't even have to create it completely. Just try creating and you will get to know validation pass tak aap chale jaoge, which means machine is being created. You don't even have to create it. Storage account, try creating a storage account with this name and you will get the error that you are not able to create it. But once I have my storage account ready, then only. Okay, so this is how you create your storage account, guys. Any questions, any doubt do you have? How to check
Sir?
storage account, how to create storage account? Yes.
Sir, it's a global unit. If I will be name given means मतलब मैं अभी storage account
Yes,
create
yes, it is
किया
a global
वो
unit.
global
Yes.
मतलब
Yes.
एक बार वो registered हो गया तो you can't take a name for that, right?
Yes, yes, you can't.
Okay.
Okay, so how to see storage account, how to create storage account, we have seen that already, right? In granular details, we'll see in next session. We have 1 minute left. If you guys have any questions, please do ask. Meanwhile, copy these two names so you can have your own practical very quickly before we start our next session.
Sir, by storage account, like as per understanding, the name should be unique, right?
Yes.
Just like when we create a social media account.
Sort of, yes, you can say that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, 30 minutes, 30 seconds are left. So let me finish the session. Need some time to convert the recording. We'll rejoin it in 10 minutes, 15:35. Meanwhile, try these two things. Try creating a machine with this name. Try creating a user account with this name. Okay, I'll see you in 9 minutes now. I just need to convert these recordings. Otherwise, they get corrupted and then you won't have anything to practice. I'm stopping the session, guys.